I should take naps before I record videos.
Don't get old, it's a trap. What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 63. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, if you didn't mind hitting a like on this video sometime during it, possibly subscribe to the channel, and if you're new here, whoa, that was... Please consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here. There you go. I can speak. English is my first language. Anyway, Kart 63 is brought to you by TrackTac Tire Treatments. TrackTac Tire Treatments. TrackTac Tire Treatments. TrackTac Tire Treatments. Treatments for tires and tracks. Go fast and finish the race is their motto. If you have any questions about tire prep, if you're interested in getting into prepping yourself for dirt kart racing, seems to be a thing that people don't know that I do. Please, feel free to contact me. Messenger, email is kart63@gmail.com. I try my best to get back to everybody in a timely manner and get you the answers that you need. Okay, so Thursday nights, if you don't know, we do a live stream called Dirt Kart Racer Live. I come out here into the barn, I chat with you, I interact with the chat, and I get lots of questions or concerns. What do I think about this? What do I think about that? I try and basically it's just an interactive type of thing here. So one of the things got brought up is a video that I should have done a long time ago. And for no other reason than other topics come up. I'm never lack thereof of topics to cover on this channel because I cover, not only just karting in general, but racing and everything that entails with that. But I know that digital scales are expensive. Long Acre is what I have. I have Long Acre scales. Racing scales are expensive. Not everybody can afford to get a set of scales. Usually what happens is you race at a track, you have friends, you meet people, they have a set of scales, you can, kind of schedule with your buddies a scaling session, or you can pay somebody to use their facility, they'll help you set up your cart, all this stuff. But if you're a DIYer, if you want to do it yourself, there is a way around that, and that is bathroom scales. Now, this isn't the most accurate way, but it's not far off. It will get you where you need to go. And if you're just looking to get your cart into the ballpark, this is a perfectly fine option. So what I have written down here is some scalings from my last time. I scaled the UAS Open before I adjusted it. I'll say that first. There's a lot of cross in this for up north. So before I made adjustments to the chassis to get that cross number down, I took I took the numbers, I put them on the board, and I thought we'd discuss how this is done. Okay, first things first, you are going to need scales. Now, you could arguably steal your wife's scale. Maybe you have a couple scales in your house. Maybe you could go and rob your parents' scales. If you could go to a secondhand store, a Salvation Army of sorts, if they have scales, or you can just do like I would probably suggest is if they're going to be dedicated race scales for you, and this is what money you have now, I would jump on to something like Amazon and get them from there. I got a little footage here, scrolling down through. Depending, what kind you want, I suggest maybe not get the glass type ones. Maybe just get some, there were some basic ones on there for, $16 to $20 a piece. So keep in mind, you're going to need 4 of them. You're going to need one for each tire. Now, this whole process, that I've become self-sufficient in the way I scale. I kind of have to, like I've discussed before, my family's fully supportive, but they are rarely out here with me. I usually do everything karting related by myself. So I have it all set up. I have an electric cart lift. I have my scale stands. I have boards. I am able to lower the cart down on there. You're not going to be able to do this with bathroom scales unless you're really ingenuitive. I mean, that is possible. I'm not going to take anything away from you, but what I would suggest is get somebody to help you. This is going to help in more than one aspect. So first things first, you need to obviously get the scales, you need to set them on the ground, and you need to have them on a level surface. This is imperative. If you are setting your scales on a hill like this, obviously, not only is this cart going to roll off, you're going to find problems there, but you're going to weigh heavier on whatever scales are on the downward slope. You're going to want to cross measure them. Now, can you get away with just kind of flattish, floor? Okay, you're going to get yourself in the ballpark. Again, this is not, you're already kind of fighting with it not being the utmost accurate without being on race scales. But if you are on uneven surface, you are going to exacerbate that situation. You might want to do that. So a long scale or a long level or something is going to be necessary in order to get not only your, from side to side, but front to back and kitty corner, which would be cross, which is very imperative to what we're doing. Make sure that your scales are as level as possible with what you're working on. All right, now zero them all out. The problem I would say with digital scales is this, is usually, I'm just going from experience, is when I'm in my bathroom, I have to tap on it. I have to touch it in order to gauge it. So keep this in mind. When you're purchasing these scales, keep that in mind, that how do they engage? Is it going to be accurate enough that you set the cart on and they're on and stay on? Or would it be more behooven? Is that the word? Sometimes I use big words that I don't actually know what they mean. To get something analog. Maybe something that, the old school with the whole spinning, that would make more sense to me, because they're not going to shut off on you. And they may not be as accurate to get to your points, like 122.6. You're not going to have that, but you're, again, with the ballpark. So do your research on that. I'm not telling you run out and buy these exact scales. There might be something, go ahead and Google it. Maybe there are scales that are not Longacre, not connected to their own display. Maybe there are ones that were specifically designed or people use in order to, scale a cart. That information might be available. I don't know. I've never really looked into it. I just glanced at Google real quick. Anyway, I want to, get rid of some variables here so you don't come back at me, yelling at me, hey, my scales won't stay on. What do I do? I don't know. That's not how I scale my cart, but it is what it is. So you're going to want them to read at all times. When you set the cart upon it, you're going to want them to read and stay on, because you need those numbers. So you and your partner, whoever it is you get to help you, pick up the cart, put it on the leveled scales, and then you sit in the seat. You can put your helmet on, you don't. I don't wear my helmet when I scale my cart. It's point whatever, degrees of, we race on dirt. Should I? Yes. Do I? No. Anyway, you can wear a helmet if you want to wear a helmet. Don't wear a helmet if you don't want to wear a helmet. It's up to you. But what then you're going to need to do is you sit in your cart, you get comfortable, you sit where you are going to be racing. Don't push on your gas or brake, just level. And I like to scale the car dry. That's I know some people, you could put fuel in it. I mean, clone carts don't really hold a lot of fuel. Predators, but I've always scaled dry just to know where my base is. So the person who is out of the cart is going to get a piece of paper, and they're going to write left front, left rear, right rear. And then they are going to write down what weights are on those. Once you have those, you can make your adjustments, camber, caster. If you have those, you'll have to go back into one of my videos, show you how to do, obviously caster is marked on your chassis, but cambers, you need a camber gauge for that. Do all that. But aside from that, we are just figuring out what our percentages are. Those adjustments affect your percentages. You get where I'm going. Okay. That person goes around, they write them all down. Like I said, these are actual weights from the last time I weighed my Unlimited All-Stars cart. That is a Bama 270 on there for reference. It's heavier. I'm 219 pounds in it. So this is how heavy my cart was just as a base. These are the tire pressures that were off the scale. Hopefully I've shown you that already. So 71.5 left front, 122 right front, 185, 56.5, it's pretty light on the right rear with a total weight of this. This is necessary. So if you're wondering how to figure out what percentages, this goes, I'm going to show you the cross one, which is here and how we got there, but that pertains to this. You take this entire weight, this plus this plus this plus this equals this. You need that. Now, for cross, like I just said, you're going to go ahead and add this one to this one. So that is going to give you a total weight. You're going to take that number and you're going to divide this into that number. So, of course, whatever it is. I want to do some math. I'm going to cut off here real quick and then we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I did math. It's been a long time since I've actually done math without a calculator on my phone. Anyway, so 122.5 plus 185 is 307. So what you're going to do is divide this number by this number. I know it's weird. I know that this is much larger than that, but on your phone, you're going to type this number in first, you're going to hit divide, and then you're going to enter that number. What number is going to pop up from this? So this plus this equals this. This divided into this is this. This is your cross percentage. These two weights turns out to be that. And that, like I said before I just showed you that one, that goes for any of them. If you add these two together, and then the same thing, if you divide this into that number, that is going to give your nose weight, your left weight, your right weight, rear weight, whatever you're looking for there. That is the math behind doing scaling percentages. So if you're, like I said, it's a bit more work because it's just really easy to go ahead, spend the money, and get yourself a set of, long anchor or anything else, digital scales, and it reads it all out for you. We were discussing in the chat there, or the chat said, you might want to look for, I hadn't looked for it, there might be a app on your phone that does race scaling for you, like you would enter in what numbers you have, what pressures are on what tire, and go ahead and enter it in there, and then that would give you your percentages. Again, I thought of it this morning that I was going to do this video. It was in the back of my head. I'm like, you know what? That got brought up Thursday. Let me do a video on that. So I actually haven't looked for that app yet. Maybe if I'm editing this and I think of it, I'll try and I have an iPhone, so I'll get into the App Store and I'll see if that exists. But they were talking about it in the chat, or at least somebody mentioned it in the chat on Thursday. So you can always go back and do your research there. If you want to watch me yammer on for an hour, somewhere in that discussion, somebody mentions an app, and I believe it to be so. I don't understand why they would fib about that. That sounds like something that would be reasonable, that racers could use. Anyway, so there you go. I know it's been a long time coming. I know, I say that this channel is all about the new racer, and the new racer isn't going to have, anywhere from what, $800 to $1,600 set of scales. I totally get it. I, at one point in time, was like you. I did not have scales, and we just showed up to the track and raced with what we got. And you can get by. You can find speed at the track without scaling. But this just not only confirms adjustments you have made, but if you are way off in left field, this will get you back to where factory might like you to be, or where they suggest you start. Maybe you're just not running near enough left, and you have no idea that's even happening without getting on a set of scales. That could be the difference between an ill-handling cart and a great-handling cart, is just that one, just moving your seat over a little bit that you didn't know existed. So definitely worth your time to get a set of scales, whether it be bathroom, whether it be some kind of digital, actual race scales. Getting that knowledge into your head that these adjustments do make a difference, that moving percentages on your cart setup do make a difference. That is really, I'm not saying that you can't be fast without it, but I'm saying it really helps when you get down to the nuts and bolts of things and understand why something is doing it. If you have a lot of nose percent and it really turns well, but you're loose off, that is why. Because you have too much nose percent. You're going to want to move that seat back, get some more on the rear, get some bite off, but there's always happy medium. You're gonna have to figure out what your cart actually needs for that particular track. Anyway, there. Did I talk enough? Did it make sense to you? I hope that I didn't. I figure this is probably going to lose somebody. because up until it's been a long time since I've done that. Since I've done the math for that, I was just like, oh, God, I hope I don't point somebody in the wrong direction. Anytime I do math, it's a little sketchy. I wasn't exactly, I think it was 10th grade was the last time I was actually had to take some sort of math course. We live in a digital age. It's all on my phone. If you got a question about it, Google it. And it will find an answer for you. Anyway, there you go, guys. I am off tonight. It's really bugging me that this is the end of the season. I'm not racing anymore. I love spending time with my wife. Like I said, Thursday, I got a busy weekend with family and stuff. But it's looking around, seeing all my race stuff, and knowing full well I'm probably not going to touch this stuff till April. It bugs me. It's not fun. Living up north sucks. All right, guys. Thank you very much for stopping by. Remember that Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tack Tire Treatments. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, go ahead and shoot me a message. Real quick before we get out of here, the video hit 3 million views. I keep on mentioning it because it's just blowing my mind. And what else is blowing my mind is the fact that I know kart racing, and we're a small little community. We're little on the grand scope of everything, on the grand scope of NASCAR and F1 and all that. I totally understand, but I did not realize that even some people don't even know that they're kart tires. Like, oh, your tread's gone. I'm like, it's supposed to be gone. It's like, you run slicks on dirt. I'm like, yeah, man. Yup. I don't know what to say. I have answered just about every single question there's been out there, either sarcastically, maybe a couple mean ones because I didn't like the way they're talking to me, but in general, I've answered a lot of people the exact same thing, that these are dirt kart tires and that I know what I'm doing. I swear I'm not destroying my tires. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you an update on it, because I know everybody on Thursday got the update. I give you guys the update. It's well over 3 million now. It's blowing my mind, and it's kind of funny. Couldn't do it. I tried to capture lightning in a bottle twice. It didn't work. I even did the ASMR thing. Didn't work. Anyway, okay. I'll talk to you. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming by, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.